Hey guys, welcome back to Rage of the Titans, and we're going to be playing episodes 3, 4, 5. We'll see how long it takes. I know that there's 3 episodes, so we're just going to go ahead and get started. It looks like we have quite a bit of points of divinity. I did replay episodes 1 and 2 because I want to make a few different choices, because I didn't like how things went too much last time with Heather. So this time I picked Adrian to go with me, to take me home, and it completely changed episode 2 for me. Like, I felt a lot better. Like, he kind of really stepped in and helped me out, like helped me out there, and I felt like I liked the situation a lot better when he was there. So that was good. So I like Adrian a lot more now. And actually, and on the same token, I like Heather a lot better now that I didn't have to deal with her. And she just kind of comes in the end, and she seems like a supportive friend, and you don't get to see how she utterly fails you when you're there. I don't know, it flowed a lot better. It made a lot more sense. I didn't feel as aggressive with the situation. Yeah, so, but anyway, we're gonna go ahead and go in. So the last thing, so notes we've gotten from Tom, he's like, don't trust anyone, 1, and then this last one says, find me. So we're gonna start with that, and we'll see how we go. It's a very simple choice. Listen to your heart or to your reason. Alrighty then. Let's go ahead and get started and see how we go. Yeah. So far, I'm coming from a place where I find episode 2 a lot more enjoyable this time around, making different choices. Oh, right, and so Murphy randomly knocked Jason across the field. So that's going on. And also we found the next clue. So those 2 things that we're focusing on at the moment. Okay, chapter 3, the clue. I was sitting on the cold concrete staring at my palms. The crumpled note in my hand seemed to burn my skin. It was definitely Tom's handwriting. Find me? Why? How am I supposed to? How did this even end up in my bag anyway? The thought immediately gave me a headache. Melody, get up before someone tramples you. This is no time to sit. The crowd was increasingly... Ooh, that's loud. The crowd was increasingly getting outraged because of what happened on the field. Someone's hand firmly grabbed my waist and pulled me up. Theo? Are you sure you didn't hit your head? You looked like you saw a ghost. What's that? Heather pointed the crumpled note in my hand. Don't trust anyone. Promise me. Interesting how they decided to put that up now. But which one of them am I not supposed to be trusting? Both of them? Or Heather or Theo? Like I said, when I picked Heather last time, she was acting super sketch. But Theo is more sketch. Because I also chose when you chose to tell Heather not to make a scene, then Theo kind of talks to you and he's like, if I could have come back or if I could have called, then I would. Sounds like he was in some sort of situation that was really sketch. So he could be involved with some dangerous people. So there could be that. And if he feels like that he had to abandon and hurt his friends and he didn't have a choice, he could end up hurting his friends again without feeling like he has a choice. So, there's that. I just won't believe anyone. Not trust anyone, but then my friends. Hey, Earth to Venus. Melody? What's that you're holding? Since they played that right then, I'm gonna just change the subject really quickly. Quickly crumb the paper and put it into my pocket. Hope they didn't notice that. I see the look on the ref's face and it doesn't look good. Theo smirked mercilessly. Of course they noticed. They've been asking you about what's in your hand. You just crumpled it. Theo smirked mercilessly, looking at the field. I think Murphy is being disqualified. What? Why? Oh, right. Sorry, I got disoriented for a moment. By By what? I love how there's like a dark patch where you can see he skidded across the grass. Something was happening on the field. They were still about half an hour into the end of the game. We heard the sound of the whistle and everyone got back to the line except for Murphy. I looked at him. He turned around and our gazes met. He smiled and winked at me. The ref motioned at him to leave the field. He'd been disqualified. There's still time until the end of the game. Just check the address from that note. Maybe there's going to be a clue or something. I see. Do it while your friends are occupied. I couldn't help but take a step back. Melody, where are you going? You know what? I'll go for a walk. But the game's not over yet. I turned around and looked at our scoreboard. Our team had a considerable lead. There was no doubt we'd win and go into the playoffs. I don't want to see any more ruckus. I'd rather catch some fresh air and return by the end of the game. Helen was about to speak, but Theo interrupted her with a slight pinch on the arm. She pouted comically and turned away. Fine, just don't do anything stupid, okay? Fine. I don't know what nonsense he was talking about, but I need to get to the address as soon as possible. The note pointed at a small back alley next to the main building. I walked past the sports complex and cut my way through the central alley, turned the corner, and ended up in the back alley. Wait, the address was the back alley? It was creepy there. Huge dumpsters were blocking the way, and the metal fence had long been corroded. Sometimes a story can take different paths, which path depends on whether you have accumulated a higher value of divinity or humanity. Path of divinity. It was creepy there. Huge dumpsters were blocking the way. Oh wait, before I start with this, I heard a rustling sound, and a cat ran next to my feet. Poor thing, having to live in such a disgusting place. I walked around the entire alley, but didn't find anything that could point to some kind of a clue. What could Tom be doing here anyway? Why did the note mention this particular back alley? There's nothing here. I took a deep breath and tried to collect myself. There were many more questions than answers. It had been almost 13 hours since Tom went missing. According to statistics, the more time it takes to find an abducted person, the lower the chances are of finding them. This thought echoed painfully through my head. Come on, there must be something. I looked around the back alley again and suddenly heard quiet steps behind my back. Who's here? Melody, is that you? Why are you here? Why are you here? How did you find exactly where I went? Why did you stop Heather from coming with me? Theo? What? Why are you here? I got worried when you promised not to do anything stupid, so I decided to keep an eye on you. You got worried when I promised not to do anything stupid. So, I said that I wouldn't do anything stupid, I promised. But you didn't trust me and you came anyway. You were sketch. But since you're standing in the middle of an empty back alley, my question still stands. Okay, that part is fair. I don't trust him. I don't trust him. What truth would she tell him exactly? Was she telling him about the note? Right now, it's still sketch, but I'm not certain yet. I mean, and it's not like nobody knows that I'm looking for my brother. What exactly would she tell him? Let's see. This place connected to Tom somehow. I can't explain, but I thought that maybe if I come here, I'll figure out what happened. She decided that empty back alley where pushers sell God knows what will help you find your brother. What have you gotten yourself into, Melody? Theo likes to hear the truth. It's an interesting way of saying that. Theo likes to hear the truth. It didn't say your relationship improved. It just says that he likes to hear the truth. What do you mean? Usually Miles come here after 3. He There's all sorts of stuff to desperate students who don't have enough time to prepare for their exams. As far as I remember, Tom didn't have problems of that sort. That's it. I need to speak to Miles. He might know something. You want to talk to him, don't you? I have to warn you, Miles is a peculiar guy. He might seem cute, but it's not best not to mess with him. How do you know him? It's a long story. Tell me the fucking story. I don't trust you. Miles and I met when I was a freshman. My parents used to work long hours, and when they'd come back, they'd throw screaming matches. A bully with bad grades who keeps finding trouble. I was a nuisance to them, so I ran away yet another time. Why didn't you tell us before that you had trouble at home? Who would care? I don't like asking for help anyway, you know that. We're supposed to be your best friends? What do you mean, who would care? The fuck? That's what it occurs to me, like, these people, they're not friends. They're not friends. Like, they don't know anything about each other, and all they've done is snap at each other for some unknown reason that they still have yet to explain to us. I'm so sorry. So what happened? Miles found me at a rave. He offered me a place to stay in a side job. I had no choice back then, so I agreed. Okay. You had no choice? Why didn't you ask Adrian? But you say you don't like to... He said you don't like to ask for help. I guess he didn't say he wouldn't accept help. But you'd rather accept help from some random stranger than your best friends? Which, once again, screams to me that these people were not friends. Were you selling drugs to students? Theo smiled as if it was a good memory. Well, no one would ever notice a freshman student. So you were selling drugs to students. So he needed me. Rumors had already started circulating about him, and I was a dark horse. Did the guys know? No, no one knew. In fact, that's how I disappeared. What are you talking about? Miles asked me to take an order to a new customer, and there was a policeman in civvies waiting for me. So I got busted. A year spent in juvie, and I'm a model student again. So that's where you were this past year. What about Miles? He found his way out, like he always does. So I won't let you go to him alone. You'll be safer with me. We still have time until 3, so let's go back to the gang and find out how the game ended. And then we can come here and talk to Miles. How's that for a plan? I guess. None of that eased my suspicion of him, though, to be honest. That just kind of made it worse. So he's like, so you don't trust us either. Reached the sports complex quickly. After the game, all the guys went to locker rooms. Why are we in the basketball gym? On the way, we met Heather, who had remained to watch the game. Then we all headed inside. Dia made a beeline for the locker room. I guess that's what the locker rooms are, I suppose. I'll call them. What did I just say on the bleachers? In several minutes, the door opened. Jason Murphy and Adrian walked out to us. Did you want to talk? Oh, CCH or something like that. You bet we did. What kind of mess did you start on the field? Were you worried about your princess? He approached me and stood behind my back, hugging my shoulders. The rest looked at us strangely. I think we need explanations. We've already handled it. It won't happen again. I'll save that for the coach. Just that someone got audacious and got what he deserved, didn't they, Jason? You shouldn't have instigated the guys not to deliver passes to me. You sabotaged the game? Murphy, are you out of your damn mind? We need to get out to the playoffs. Why didn't you sort this thing out before the game? Even though they tried to pretend there were no hard feelings, the team was clearly rattled. That's it, calm down. Coach's decisions are not up for discussion. Jason and I are co-captains now. Murphy will accept that as it is. Right, Murphy? Adrian said it with a tone that made my skin crawl. Whatever, do what you want. He turned around and headed back to the locker room. You'll have to deal with it later. Guys, don't worry, it's gonna be fine. We got this. These people are not friends. Like, what? Okay, let me try to parse that together. So Murphy told them not to give passes to Jason. Then Jason decided that he was gonna hog the ball. And then Murphy got upset and collided with him. And Adrian is telling him that they're co-captains and he needs to deal with it. It's an interesting definition of got this. I felt my phone vibrate in my pocket, an incoming call from Marshall. I walked a little to the side and hid behind the stairs. Well, it says high school. Weren't they just out of college? So are they in college or not? I don't think they're in college. I think they're in high school. But they went to prom. Why does it say high school? Hi, any news? Does it tell me if they're in high school or in college? I don't remember. Hi, I want to tell you there's nothing yet. Okay. But we're working on it. I see. Thanks. I questioned your neighbors again and got an idea, but I need to check it. How are you doing? Are you alright? Yeah, I think so. Marshall, should I tell him about the note? He'll want to come with me. What if it scares the guy off from the back alley? The thing is, I'm not sure about Ryder. Why? That popped up out of nowhere. Wait, nobody's even talked about Ryder. Okay, and we gave him the first note. It gave us influence, as if that was the correct thing to do. So for now, because I feel like he's done supernatural cases before. Let's see. From the same person? No, it's from my brother. He's asking me to find him and... Oh, dang. I heard fumbling and someone screaming in the background. Dang, I need to go now. Why don't we meet in the evening and talk? I'll text you the address later. He hung up without saying another word. I went back to the gang. Okay. Muddy? Who was that? Marshall, they said they haven't found anything yet. Sorry to hear that. Where's Jason and Theo? They left. I'm leaving too. By the way, Theo actually asked to tell you he'd be waiting for you by the lecture hall in about 20 minutes. What's up with that? So he didn't forget it. We wanted to go for a walk. Heather sighed miserably and looked at me. Shall we then? What do I do? Go with Heather, talk to Murph, talk to Adrian. I want Murphy's take on what happened there. Because Adrian's all about keeping the secrets, which I don't like. I'm not the hugest fan of going to places with Heather. It never goes well. And I'm more curious about what happened on the field there. I want a better explanation of that. So I think I'll probably get the best explanation of that from Murphy. So I think I'm gonna go with him. I want to talk to Murphy. Sure. Adrian, are you coming? Adrian nodded silently, grabbing his bag from the locker room and headed to the exit with Heather. Only when they were at the door did Murphy walk out to the hall. He stopped next to me. What do you want to talk about? He looked tired and very sad. Did you hear? Yes, the locker room is empty now. I could hear everything you said. I wanted to ask if you're okay. That made me feel worse than I already do. Huh? Because I'm supposed to be there for you, not vice versa. Aw. He wrinkled his nose in displeasure and kicked the stairs as he turned away. His impulsiveness showed through his emotions and actions. Like a cornered beast, he couldn't decide what to do. Murphy, hear me out. I know you didn't want to hurt Jason. He froze and then turned around slowly and looked at me in the eyes. You're a good person, and whatever the reason is, I believe that you... Why are you staring at me like that? Aren't you listening to me? I am. I just really want to kiss you. May I? Random? Random much? Like, what the hell? Is it just his impulsiveness acting, or like, does he actually like want to kiss me? Let's see how it goes. One more was enough. He took 2 steps, standing close to me now. His hand stood up, taking my hair and pulling it back. It seemed he was savoring each second of anticipation, and then he kissed me hard, moaning quietly. His other hand laid on my waist and pressed me closer. When we started gasping for air and the tension was too much, he pulled back sharply. Sorry, I overdid it. Oh, it's okay. I tried to catch my breath but barely succeeded. I heard Thea was waiting for you somewhere. Yeah, we agreed to meet by the lecture hall. May I walk you? Actually, I'd rather you come with us. Thanks. All the way to the lecture hall, Murphy talked about football and training, trying hard to avoid any mention of today's conflict. I had to admit he succeeded. So we don't get answers about that either way. Rude. We almost got to the lecture hall when someone called out to us. Look what we have here. Murphy and Melody. Okay, this has to be a high school. There's no way she would know my name. I could tell Miss Black wasn't too happy to see him. Good afternoon. Miss Black appeared like a thunderbolt from the clear blue sky, but grim clouds enveloped New York. Her expression did not bode well, but her next words genuinely surprised me. Melody, I was looking for you. I'd like to discuss your academic progress in my subject. Of course. Is there anything specific you'd like to talk about? The president noticed you had high grades for all of your subjects except mine. And whose fault is that? So you did horrible in the last test. I will suggest you make up for it. There's not much time left until the exam. I'll give you several tasks, and as you complete them, you can improve. Or worsen your GPA. Melody, I highly value your academic performance, university involvement, athletic performance. However, I'm expecting more commitment from you, or you won't finish this year. Why do you hate me so much? Will I pass your exam? Will I pass your exam? Well, that one's kind of up to you, so I don't want to say that. Why do you hate me so much? That's kind of a jump. I don't know if she, like, I can tell she don't like me, but I don't know about hate me. I don't think she would answer that question anyway. I'm kind of curious though. You think she'll answer? I doubt it. It seems like this story has a way of never giving any answers that mean anything. So, I mean, there's really no point in asking that, to be honest. Like, the story kind of like sets up a bunch of stuff and like just kind of leave it all open-ended, and yet we're supposed to make decisions on how we feel about certain things even though we have no context. I don't know. I don't like that. Context to expect, or why do you hate me so much? I don't know what to say. Let's make a decision. Let's make a decision. Let's go with this one. Interesting. So which one is humanity? I haven't decided yet. It'll be extracurricular activities, most likely. For example, organize an excursion or something of that sort. I can't really say for now. Okay, thank you for such a generous offer. She turned around and walked into the lecture hall in silence. That's when Theo approached me. You're on time. Yeah, I was waiting for that harpy to leave. What does she want from me? She promised me she'd boost my GPA if I complete a couple of tasks. Huh. Strange. Alright, that is strange. If she says she, like, hates you, then why would she do that? It seems like she's being coerced by someone to treat me a certain way, and because she's being coerced to do so, she doesn't like me. Sure, I don't want to be late. So, did Murphy come with us, or do I have to go alone with Theo, who I don't trust? We went to the side alley. It was a little past 3 when we got there. From a distance, I noticed a guy with headphones tapping his foot in time with the music. He saw us and smiled broadly. Look who's here. Theo's description was spot on. He looks like a little kid, but there's something about his eyes that look dead. Theo, buddy, how you doing? He approached us and offered his hand to Theo, but the latter just stared at him blankly. And who's this lovely lady? He turned to me and beamed. His gaze made me feel uneasy. What brings you to the godforsaken place? Do you need your job back? I came to collect a favor. Do I owe you one? His face was twisted into a smug grin, and Theo rushed him. He grabbed Miles by his collar and pressed him against the wall. Theo was an order of magnitude taller and stronger than Miles, but the dealer didn't seem to care. So what are you going to do to me? We both know you're a coward, but he looked at me. Fine, I'll help you out for old time's sake. One sharp movement, he got out of Theo's grasp and looked at me again. Theo stepped aside and kept his distance. So what do you want? My brother, Tom, tall, curly blonde. All of a sudden, Miles' eyes widened. His surprise didn't go unnoticed. The one missing? Do you know anything about it? No. How are you such a terrible liar? Sorry, can't help you. Path of Divinity. He started to walk past me towards the exit, but I grabbed his wrist and pulled him back forcefully. He didn't expect it to almost fail, but Theo caught him just in time. You know something, and I don't want to know what it is. Who the hell are you? I'm just looking for my brother, and if you don't answer me right now, I'm calling back with the police. Police, huh? Are you out of your mind? What could they possibly do to me? I have evidence pointing to your involvement in my brother's kidnapping. Are you insane? You're bluffing. You don't have anything. Miles will remember you threatened him. Apparently, my divinity told me to do so. I wonder what happens on Humanity Route. But I don't like this guy anyway, so I mean, I don't feel bad about it, to be honest. I ain't scared of him. Do you want to test me? I gave him a probing look. I wasn't sure where my confidence came from, but it came to me at just the right moment. Miles couldn't decide whether or not I was bluffing and began to mutter. Okay, he came to me with a girl. Short, wearing glasses. That's definitely Ramona. What? Is it just because he knows her? She knows that they spend time together, or what? Like, it could have been anybody. That's not a description, I guess. They came here yesterday, talked about some crazy stuff. Tom said they were being followed or something. Why'd they come here? First I thought he overdid it with caffeine. I didn't even want to sell it to him at first, but then I changed my mind. Why? I don't lose regulars. Was there anything else weird? Nah, everything's the usual. Come on, think. There must be something. I'm telling you, he came here, bought the stuff, mumbled something about what dangerous times we live in, and left. I shrugged it off and went about my business. That's the whole story. Thank you. For what? We didn't learn anything. We did. He thought he was being followed. Then we need to find Ramona. Maybe she'll tell us something. But you know you're interfering with the investigation, right? I'll tell the consultant in the evening. We got a meeting arranged. How am I interfering? I'm not stopping them from investigating. I'm just getting some information myself as well. I never said I didn't plan to share. Now let's go to the library. Ramona may still be there. Why are you trying to stop me from finding out information, Theo? That's sketch again. Bye-bye. Hope I don't see you anytime soon. This dude, I swear, he just looked like dead fish eyes. Steele snorted displeasure and, taking my arm, pushed me out of the alley. Miles shouted something afterwards, but we were already far enough so I couldn't make out what he said. The campus was built in a way that allowed the people moving in the background kind of creeping me out because it moves like super jerky. The campus was built in a way that allowed students to cross it in under 20 minutes. As we were walking, Theo got a phone call, so he only walked me to the library and excused himself to take it. I entered the building and looked around. Almost all the tables were taken by students studying for their exams. Ramona was sitting at the farthest table, reading something. I walked across the hall briskly and sat down next to her. Hi, got a minute? Hi, Melody. What are you doing here? I need to ask you something. When was the last time you saw Tom? Tom? Yes, him. You heard me. Are you deaf? Why are you asking? Why didn't you answer the fucking question? What do you mean, why am I asking? You know he's missing. Is this some sort of secret? It's not a secret because the guy, the drug addict from the alley, knows that my brother's missing, which means you definitely do too because you two hung out. Apparently. So, why am I asking? That makes you suspicious as fuck, bitch. What the hell? How? Can you just answer me? Instead of a direct answer, I was only getting counter questions. The more she was pretending to be clueless, the more irritating she was to me. It was going to be harder than I thought. Should I wait till evening so Marshall himself can interrogate her? Nah, it's been too long. What if Tom's in danger? I took a deep breath, trying to calm myself, and looked at her closely. I'll repeat my question. If you don't answer me directly, you and I will have problems. When was the last time you saw my fucking brother, bitch? She got embarrassed, and an unhealthy color flushed across her cheeks. She stared at the floor, interlocking her fingers. I saw him the night before yesterday. We were working on the project. And what happened next? Nothing. He walked me home and I left. Why are you asking? You just lied to me? Are you sure you don't know anything else? I'm real mad right now. Like, she trying my patience. And I've had enough. I've had enough. What do you mean, why am I asking? I don't understand. My brother is missing. Do you really not know? I think what she does, but the way she's like dodging and looking at questions like, why are you dodging? Do you not want him to be found? Do you not care? Like, these are the questions I need to know. Like, why are you dodging these answers? Like, otherwise that makes you guilty. You lied to me. No, I didn't. So you're trying to tell me you didn't go to Miles yesterday? Miles told me something completely different. Mona got even more flustered. Tom asked me not to tell you. Not to tell me what? That you were using? You get mad. We didn't want to upset you. We? I don't care about you. If you hadn't heard yet, Tom got abducted. So concentrate and answer me honestly. It's important for me to know what happened. I don't know which of my words made Ramona open up, but what she told me shocked me. We really didn't meet the night before yesterday. My parents have a project with the Newmans, and they had organized a meeting at their nightclub. Adrian's parents. I asked Tom to come with me. Everything was supposed to be okay, you know, parents discussing business, children having fun. And then, what happened? I don't really remember that night. I just remember opening my eyes to Tom fighting with some guy. Adrian stepped in and tried to sort it out, but it only got worse. A fight? But I saw Tom. He was fine. No bruises or cuts. Who did Tom fight with? I don't remember. Then our parents and their partners came up. Everything was a mess. Why don't you remember? What happened? What the fuck happened? Came up. Everything was a mess. One of the partners was really displeased. I think Miss Newman called Tom to her. And after that, it gets fuzzy. Do you remember anything else? No, but I'm afraid. What if it's the Newmans? Tom has behaved, after all. You know their family reputation. What if they decided... Her words made me wince. Everyone tried to blame every problem in the city on the Newmans. Whatever happened, Adrian was also blamed. Well, this time, Adrian got some explaining to do because he knew something that happened with my brother and he didn't come forward with that information to me, as if that wasn't important. Don't talk nonsense. How could Adrian be involved in this? Why didn't he tell me about it then? I get it. Thanks. I should go. I got up and walked towards the exit. What I learned made no sense, and I had no idea what to do with it. I was almost at the door when Ramona called out to me. Melody, wait. People at the neighboring tables immediately hissed at us to be quiet. What's the matter? The project we were working on, has Tom told you anything about it? Should he have? When we left Miles, he told me he'd found something. Were they missing? Even if I knew, there's no way to check. Someone stole Tom's work. That's horrible. I wish I knew what it's all about. Look, why don't I send you all I've got? I have almost all the material except for the latest ones. Maybe you could help? Finally some help. What the hell? Oh, oh my god. That'll be great. And I'll send them to you in email later. See you. She said goodbye and ran back to her table. I was starting to feel crushed by the silence of the library. I thought I heard someone whisper. It got louder, but I couldn't see anyone whispering. Am I losing my mind? No, you're becoming more goddess-like. I need to get out of here. A sudden panic attack came over me and I ran out of the library. The moment I got outside, the whispering stopped. The street was calm and quiet. The cool air was sobering me slowly, but it wasn't enough. I walked to the nearest bench, sat down, and closed my eyes. The pounding of my heart echoed somewhere in the back of my head. I cannot give in to panic. It won't help anyone, Melody. I started counting to 10 silently when I heard someone approach. I opened my eyes and saw Jason. Jason? Melody, what are you doing here? I'm sitting here. Are you supposed to be at the practice now? The coach gave us a day off today. Adrian and Murphy have left for the club. Why are you with Heather? We used to spend the evenings together. Heather's still studying and Theo has business to do, and I'm just sitting here. Are you cold? He stood opposite me and looked somewhere into the distance. Any plans for tonight? I've got a meeting with the police consultant, but it's a couple hours from now. Great, then I have a proposal for you. There's a fair nearby I want to come with? I don't know. Let's go, you could use a break. This not for me his hands up to say he wouldn't take no for an answer. I had to admit there was some truth to what he said. The day was exhausting. If I don't go with Jason, I just think about everything that had happened over and over again. Okay, but then I have to go later. Of course. I stood up and we walked towards the campus exit. I love a Ferris wheel. Jason got a taxi for us. We were out of the fair quickly. To be honest, I didn't expect to be so full of people. Kids were running around while their parents danced to country music. I became so engrossed in my surroundings that I gave a start when Jason called my name. Melody? Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. What would you like to do? The Ferris wheel. What are my choices? Well, there's an open-air theater with amazing black and white movies. And over there is an ice cream truck and the Ferris wheel. The Ferris wheel. Where would you like to go? Ferris wheel! Ferris wheel. Great choice. We approached the Ferris wheel. There was already a decent line. Anytime there's a Ferris wheel at a fair that I go to, I always want to ride the Ferris wheel. I usually ride it last. I want it to be the last thing that I do, and I like to ride it at night so you can kind of like see the city skyline. It's always super fun. I like it. It's very cool. Usually do that. Usually the only time I ride a Ferris wheel though, lately is at the rodeo in Houston. Which I love going, but it's been canceled the last couple of years, of course. That's okay. Hopefully next year. I thought we were staying there for at least half an hour, but suddenly Jason and I were allowed to go ahead. What about the line? You'll find out later. Don't ruin the moment. He took my hand and beckoned to me, and we got into a cabin and sat down. The Ferris wheel started to move and took us higher and higher. I know you can't see the stars, but look at this view of the city. The wheel was rather small, but we could see the whole fair and all the people around. When we reached the top, a delightful view of cloudy New York opened in front of us. Thank you. For what? It's like my childhood. Dad often used to take me and Tom to these kinds of fairs. He'd buy us caramel apples and let us run around while my mom wasn't looking. I like her expression here. It's very, like, wistful. Was she against it? She sure was. Try washing caramel off of clothes. Jason laughed. His laughter somehow made me feel warm. Our cabin started to gradually descend. I wish this evening would never end. Me too. When we got down, Jason suggested we take a walk along the embankment. We were reminiscing about high school, our walks together. We're reminiscing about high school, so we're not in high school. These kids they have to be in high school. I don't know how much time had passed, but it started to get cold. Like, why would she randomly know Murphy? Unless it's something to do with the whole ancient Greece thing. Let's go back. Let's have some hot tea. I don't want you to catch a cold. Walked to the center of the fair. Only then did I notice the ads. Why don't the ads have your last name? Charity. My parents organized this fair. Those are the proceeds to animal shelters. Oh, why didn't you tell me earlier? I could have helped you out. He grinned bitterly, looking to the side. Something was clearly bothering him. Jason, are you alright? If something's bothering you, you can tell me. Nothing like that. I just missed you so much. Jason, I missed you too. Should we dabble around everywhere? I didn't think much of Jason before. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting. I'm interested to see all of our options and what it's like. Sure. Give everybody the chance just to see what their scenes are like, to be fair. We're still early in the season. We can change our mind. Okay, let's give it a shot. Really? Of course. We've known each other for so many years and you've always been there. No matter what, we always supported each other, except when he left for a year and didn't really contact, but you know, it's fine. I don't know how to say everything I feel, but I care about you. He smiled and reached out to me, hugging me. I wish I heard these words sooner. Back then when I was leaving, I didn't find the courage to confess to you. I wanted to tell you, so tell me now. He pulled back a bit and without thinking twice, kissed me. At first I got alarmed, but I don't think, for once I don't like the CG. First I got alarmed, but the kiss was so soft and innocent that I just succumbed to the impulse. We were standing in the middle, and this music is interesting. We were standing in the middle of the street. I felt his hands on my waist, his soft lips, his rapid breathing. Only when there was no air left did he pull back from me. I'm sorry. I've been dreaming about this since the day we met. Silly boy in love. In love? The words seemed so new, so wrong. A sense of guilt took hold of me again. Jason, don't say anything. I understand. He gently released me from his embrace and took my hands. Hey, I'll always be here for you. Do you hear me? As I promised back then. I got a new message from Marshall with a time and a place. Except this past year when he wasn't here for you. Like, none of them were besides Heather. He asked me to go there ASAP. Has he figured something out? I need to meet the consultant. Right now? Yes, as soon as possible. Sorry for running away like this. It's just... I'll go with you. I won't leave you alone. We walked back to the road. There was an empty taxi. We got in and gave the driver the address. Despite all attempts to get there fast, we lost some time in the awful traffic. We finally got there, and Marshall was already standing by the entrance and looking at his watch nervously. Sorry we're late. Who's this? I'm Jason, her friend. Were you at the party as well? Look, don't get me wrong, but... Melody, can we talk in private? I looked at Jason questioningly. He just nodded and headed to the entrance. Only when he was out of sight did Marshall continue. So I did a little digging in your brother's schedule, and I learned that just the other day he had a conflict with someone in the club. I talked to Ramona today, and she told me about the confrontation. Who's Ramona, and why I don't know about her? Oh, why don't you know? It's a long story. So what happened? Let's go inside. We've got something to discuss. Was it fun to play this chapter? Yes and no. It wasn't awful. I'm just like mad at all the half stuff. I guess it's like it's supposed to be a mystery, and I get that. But at the same time, well, to be fair, for once we finally got answers from Ramona. But like, our friend group doesn't feel like a friend group. Despite the fact that they're supposed to have all this rapport from years and years ago, it's not like they're just developing their friend group. We're supposed to believe that these people have been friends for a really long time. And I don't buy that at all. It leaves me feeling disjointed. And like Jason confessing that he loved me and this and stuff like that, it just all feels premature because this is all part of a relationship that I just don't know. I guess that's why they had the character respond, our main character respond like that. Like, it's a little early for that. So maybe. I'm not mad. So, okay, here's my rating system. 5, if I had a good time. I like the CGs, I like some of the character movements. And, you know, I had a general overall good time playing. 4 is when there's something not quite hitting with it. 3, if it left me mad. 2, if I was pissed. And 1, if I just can't even. Like that Seduced by the Rhythm episode that made me cry. So we'll go with that. I'm not mad. I'm just, yeah. So I'm very lenient. I shouldn't often give things a 2 or a 1. But I'll tell you again once I start playing Seduced by the Rhythm again. So who knows? Okay, but I'm going to go ahead and end this part right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, go ahead and hit that like button, some love, subscribe to see more content like this, and I will see you next time. Bye!